I want to get out of here so bad, dude. I'm dying.
Peach, wait up.
Let me turn this off.
So what are the comms about this prison stuff then?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time I knew they got a heli, and they were looking for a place to park it at first, and then I didn't realize, you know, I had no idea. So
Yeah, because I'll be honest, I don't really want to run L1 stuff if it's going to be lack of comm stuff like this. I'd rather just give it to someone like Opal who's been communicated with.
Yeah, I don't, and I like it.
I don't need that in my life.
No, but we need standards for it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. There's already a report about something with DOC leaking shit to people. I'm like trying to catch up on all the reports from over the weekend. I know previous to that they were running undercover operations in place of TRT. So I'm just gonna be honest. It doesn't seem like they're really staying in their lane. So specifically with this King, we want to talk with Opal and then figure out from there. There does need to be.
It's one of the things Nina was trying to help with.
I just think it's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Why the fuck would they need a helicopter in a jurisdiction that doesn't extend past the parking lot? It's fucking stupid.
I have no idea. We could try and chat with the warden maybe and figure out what their intentions are with it, because you know, having 2 helicopters in the air, if they leave the prison, it's a pursuit, then obviously it's our jurisdiction, right? Blaine County and Los Santos, right? We're gonna be pursuing. That's no longer the marshals and DOC, right?
We can't have another heli there though, per SOP.
Right.
That's like, it just presents a lot of issues.
I would think they would just not go past their parking lot. Then I mean, it would take us time to pull our heli anyway, right? So they would just have to, we would have to get units on it, and then they would have to come park their shit and us pull ours out. I don't know, unless they were deputized, which I don't think that's going to happen mid-air, right? I mean, I have no idea. The marshals can do whatever they want, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Oh my god, I wanna leave so bad.
I don't know if they're in a situation and like they have like a couple of people leaving the prison to go get Air 1 from a PD or wherever until they have their own pad. It's just so unbelievably counterproductive. Like what?
Oh boy!
What if they get back and nobody's alive?
I feel like a drone might have been a bit more.
I agree
that
with
would have
that.
made sense. They could have instantly deployed. Maybe it's something we should bring up then, that instead of using Air 1, they, for the time being, unless they can get an air pit, just issue a drone to them.
Yeah.
Real quick,
oh, sorry, God.
Real quick, is this the main topic of discussion?
No,
that was my fault.
No, this was just kind of a quick catch up to see if there's anything that anybody wants to bring up or discuss. I know Bobby's situation was dealt with already. He's on a 24-hour suspension.
I just don't want to be a part of it because I'm so heavily conflicted in this fight.
Go ahead, Doc.
There was another issue with Bobby and a judge.
We fought this for over a week.
Separate from the contempt last night.
We're like, this sounds fucking retarded.
Yeah, separate from the contempt last night. This was from a few days ago. I told him he had to go and apologize to Judge. I hate this Judge Bo.
But it's finally trickling down.
He basically not a real judge because he's a magistrate, and he lost the election when he was questioned about some of his actions in front of the judge.
Did Judge Bo make a complaint?
Judge Bo came and spoke to me. He didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so I had words with Bobby and told him he had to go apologize because we couldn't have him causing issues with the DOJ. And I mentioned to him there that behavior like that will turn the DOJ against him, and he'll end up getting a ton of contempt charges if he keeps pushing his luck. And it sounds like
it's this goes back to the discussion where
I don't know. I mean, I hope
TLDR is DOC can operate as marshals, as like marshal deputies
disrespecting
throughout
judges,
San Andreas for operations,
out of the courtroom, in the courtroom,
including investigations.
You know,
and the big push Brian
Nino
was bringing up was
examples
like,
to people,
bro,
and
this sounds
is not the example we're going to set. And I'm going to be honest,
and it's going to cause huge fucking communication gaps.
I'm going to be honest,
unless done properly.
I'm going to be this should be his last straw, right?
Yeah.
Bobby,
oh yeah, that's why they're starting to hear some of it. They don't. I don't think they actually know the full extent of what the DLC is going to be able to do.
Right.
So in other words, like if they're chasing the faceless,
he's also doing
it could literally be DLC involved. They could literally say, you know what, this is going to be a DLC martial art. Yeah. And that was a big part of Nino's. But that's why Nino is getting triggered, by the way. One of the big reasons why the whole, senior buns and all this bullshit was happening is Nino's sitting over here like, I'm sitting here trying to fight to keep you guys, like, fighting, and y'all playing, like, fucking
we could see if a judge is
petty games
to give him a course in court etiquette.
And then remember we said fuck it
to make sure he knows how to behave himself in the future and what they expect him from him.
I don't.
But what changed, Don?
A course in court etiquette, more so just etiquette.
Yeah,
that's unfortunately true.
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea. The problem is that those things need to be communicated out, right?
That was being found all over the city or something, part of his punishment, right?
He gave it very vague. Well, when those big shootouts happen, we just put in that something's been stolen, blah, blah, blah. So I also brought up the fact that, yesterday I responded to 278 situations that he called, and it was... the whole force responding.
Flood the streets, Operation Flood. Well, we still got to figure out what's going on with magazines and ammo. I have a feeling it's going to come from the cargo ship, but we're going to get prices soon too.
So, when he came back, he should have done the paperwork, including putting evidence into a locker, which he may have put the evidence into the wrong locker after speaking to him. Yeah. It's just a whole thing. In situations like that where the whole force has to drop what they're doing and respond to his stuff, then he is expected to follow up afterwards, and he just hasn't been.
Wait,
so
who?
we got the 3 DAPs for negligence, and then we got 3 DAPs for unprofessionalism, which amalgamated together equaled the 24-hour suspension, and then he's also doing a presentation tomorrow.
Okay.
Is the evidence thing about yesterday night or a separate incident?
No, it's a separate incident. It was before the Shift 1 meeting yesterday. He got shot at in a drive-by. He collected evidence, but the evidence isn't there.
Oh yeah, that was the that was last night.
No, there was a different one. No, it was a different one. He told me he got drive-by'd again by a different person who died last night as well after the bench trial. Yeah, no, it was a separate one.
He was drive-by twice yesterday.
Can we also make him do his weapon registry before he comes back on duty?
Yeah.
He didn't do it yet?
Nope.
Okay. I hate coming down hard on like one person, but I mean, it's usually there's only one thing they're lacking in, right? Maybe they forgot to write a statement, or but we're blatantly being disrespectful. We're not doing our statement. So yeah, I would definitely say we'll see how his presentation goes tomorrow, and we're just gonna have to keep an eye on him, because this is just not. This is like well below standard, well below. And I'm trying to be nice, so I'm just gonna drop that. Anything else you guys want to bring up, discuss? Any officers that we need to talk to or situations to deal with? I'm trying to look into this DOC stuff that's Shift 2, but
Frost was blazed yesterday on duty, but that was handled.
What?
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you guys talked about it already. All right.
You guys. No, I mean, he just told me the situation, something about a hookah lounge.
Yeah. So Cyprus has the Cyprus area has a hookah lounge, I guess. He smoked some of it a couple days ago. Realized it was weed, and then he smoked again yesterday. He came clean to Radich. He was sent off duty to sober up. And I was pretty upfront about the whole thing. I don't think it's going to be an ongoing issue, but
okay. Out of interest, though, does that lounge have a license to be providing people with weed?
I don't have the full context. I mean, whether someone loaded up a bong with weed versus that's what they're generally selling, who knows?
Okay. I'll speak with Frost. Maybe we'll start looking into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So one thing I've still got to speak with Jack Frost. It's actually Brian that discovered a weapon was left in the scanner in the armory.
Yeah.
We've tracked down what incident it went back to. Nakoda discovered it was Jack Frost who was processing the person that had the gun. He just wants someone to have words with him to make sure he's taking better care of the evidence, but it's something we've got to keep track of.
Okay. I saw that report. All right. And Chief, I'm glad you touched on that in the meeting. I know I came in a little bit late, but about the 78's call and people click over and immediately, am I still needed? Where's it at? What's the 20? And that's all you hear for the next like 3 straight minutes. Everybody coming over and saying that. I feel like if we could really catch the people who are continuously doing that and, you know, let them know, like, please give it 10 seconds, 15 seconds, listen for 311 because they're cluttering it so bad. We are losing vehicles because the comms are so crap. I know the other day, Viv was involved in a situation and everybody was just talking over everybody and nobody knew what anybody was saying and they lost sight of the vehicle and it was right in front of them. Aaron was calling out the van. Everybody was talking over everybody and the van was lost. After they just blasted people with a shotgun right in front of CMC and I watched them run across the street with a shotgun. And then because of the comms talking over each other, like I've noticed that even when they have ample units on vehicles, people are not moving over to a channel. If we have multiple suspects and it is a 78, I know we want to keep it on one channel, but if we are absolutely trying to capture both this one and that one, we may need to consider just moving that first group over one channel and then keeping the other, you know, on the main channel and then or just dropping one and not chasing it because we're splitting up and we're losing everybody because we can't hear. Nobody can hear what they're doing. So that situation on Friday was really bad. Yeah. So if we see that, let's just kick them onto another channel or make people stop talking over each other. It's getting old.
It might be a bit of a side effect as well, because in shift 3, when there's not many of us around, we obviously don't really bother doing that. Maybe that's carrying over a little bit into the later shifts, or is this like shift 2, or what are we talking?
This is like now, like after the meeting.
Oh,
it's the
so yeah,
shift
it might be
1.5. Yeah, it's the shift 1.5 thing.
Okay.
Like everybody needs to be on the radio at all times.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
stepping on each other. I'm attaching, or do you still need me? It's a 78. You need to listen and hear if you're needed. Look at your GPS and see if there's enough units. Like obviously for 78s that doesn't matter, but for 77s, I'm always looking at my GPS to see how many units are attached to a call. Instead of cutting in the middle of their comms, ask if I can attach or if I should attach. And there's a lot of lazy people that just click over radio check and it's in the middle of a comm. Yeah. They don't even wait 2 seconds. It's just so disrespectful.
I think we could probably push for people to utilize 311 more because I don't think it's utilized enough. But like with people interrupting comms to ask if you need 77s and stuff, it happens so often.
I can't wait to go back out. This is actually a general comms issue.
Based on what call. I'm not even on about 78s here. I'm on about any call.
Yeah.
And you can sort of generally look and then you could just 311, you know, do you need additionals or whatever.
She's right. She's right.
Yeah, I think the use of 311 should probably be pushed a little bit more.
I think so too.
It's another tool to communicate with.
Yeah.
I'll make more of an effort when I'm around as well to swap
Frost!
this over to
don't go off duty yet.
Not many of us,
Hold on.
so that we're not out of habit.
I'm coming out. Don't go off. I'm
yeah,
coming
again, that's
out.
not
Don't leave
shift early.
yet.
Shift one's not usually because what's if usually there's a call, it's only the one. But yeah, I mean, maybe an
Bitch.
officer wants to do a 38. You can't really do that
Yep.
without. I mean, you can 3-1-1 it. It's not a huge deal. But if it turns into an 80 and there's 4 units taking up the main frequency, it's just out of habit, like you said. Probably best. We are pushing officers to pull people over more often, and calling it in, especially to practice for our cadets, is better than just 3-1-1 every time. But yeah.
No problem.
That's all I got. Anybody have anything else?
Something I noticed today, by the way, is D has a civil suit tomorrow against him. I'm going to speak to him today because I was the only witness there and see if he wants to add another witness or not. Because it's literally just him at the moment, no attorney or anything.
Yeah, so he actually spoke to me just before the storm in regards to that. Frost is going to be representing him. I did say that possibly adding you as a witness because you came back up that he radioed in about being tackled on the roof. Oh, that's even better then. I couldn't tell if you saw it or just knew it from the radio call. Okay, I'll make sure you get added then as a witness. I'll probably attend as well to back up Frost and D. They didn't name LSPD as a defendant, but I did say to D in future, if he notifies us in advance, we can provide a lot more support to him.
What time is that court case at?
4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
One more time, I'm sorry.
When?
That's what it says on the docket, okay?
4 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. real time.
9 p.m. UTC, right?
Yeah,
right.
real time.
Shortly, something as we're all senior plus here, I want to touch on something real quick. I'm speaking in general terms, very broad terms here. If we as I hate to use this word, but as a, I guess superior is the correct word, superior officers, supervisors, yeah. We have a duty to guide our fellow colleagues and not to ream them for issues. And we need to promote a positive environment where people are afforded the right to fail, and that's okay. That's when we step in and we help them. I just need that should be ingrained into your memory. That's the only thing you should ever think about when somebody freaks up.
This
you're there to help them. You need to be positive. Then naturally there are outliers like Bobby, but in broad terms, we're here to help them. We're not here to punish them. That's all. Just a reminder for everybody. I had nothing else.
Just because I went Viv on Bobby.
Yeah.
No, I meant in general.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I think we are doing everything but reaming Bobby, which is why he's still acting how he's acting, Viv. Let me be honest. We've been baby bird feeding him. Yeah, I agree, Trig. I think people need to. That's why we were talking about the DAP system. The DAP system is there not to make them afraid and think they're gonna be fired from their job, but it's a tool to make them understand that we're trying to make you understand that you made a mistake and you need to learn from that mistake, right?
I feel like that fosters a backbiting environment.
We talk about it, but I think the talk does work for a lot of people.
Because
really
instead
does.
of confronting,
for Bobby's situation,
which is going to lead to hurt feelings because people are pussies,
kind of like when Carmine
was suspended
not too long ago, because it was a collective.
Right? Is just people just complain behind everyone's back. That's
I think
the unfortunate
I do appreciate
reality
that
of what the vast majority of San Andreas has turned into.
With all
you
sides,
have to confront.
All sides
Confronting
need to be heard
is not
talk amongst each
happy
other
thing.
so you don't just make a decision
It's
on your own
idealistic.
because somebody might have other
It never
insight on the
works out.
situation.
It never has.
But yeah, I think that's good that you brought that up.
Right.
All right, we
So
good?
we get out there? Yeah.
All right, let's do it, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Good
All
meeting you.
right.
Thank you.